Ladies and gentlemen, 1 hour a day may seem like a small commitment, but when applied with focus and intention, it can transform every aspect of your life. This seemingly insignificant amount of time, when used consistently, compounds over weeks, months, and years, creating a massive impact on your future. It's not about making drastic changes all at once, but about taking small, powerful actions each day that add up to something extraordinary. Every hour spent in growth, learning, or building is an investment in your future self, and that's where true change begins. The key to unlocking your full potential lies in mastering the art of time. The most successful people in the world didn't achieve greatness through monumental leaps. They built their empires one focused hour at a time. This daily discipline becomes the foundation of progress, and before you know it, what once seemed impossible becomes your reality. The power is in your hands, but the question remains, will you seize it? What if you could take back control of your time? Imagine transforming your mindset, building new skills, or even improving your health, all within a single hour each day. These hours don't have to be glamorous or dramatic, but they will slowly, steadily shape who you are becoming. The real magic isn't in what you do with 1 hour, it's in what that 1 hour can become over time. But here's the secret. It's not just about the results you see today, it's about the person you are becoming in the process. Consistency is the quiet force that makes the impossible possible. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that change requires extraordinary effort or sudden bursts of motivation, but true transformation happens in the quiet moments of daily commitment. When you choose to show up every day for just 1 hour, you're not only building your future, you're building a habit that will sustain you even when things get tough. And here's the kicker. If you can master 1 hour, you can master your entire life. But how? It's easy to overlook the power of a single hour. In a world full of distractions, it's tempting to think that time spent building yourself is time wasted. Yet those hours add up. When you begin to prioritize even just 1 hour each day, you'll soon realize how much progress you're making, even if it doesn't feel like it at first. What you're really doing is setting the stage for massive growth. But can you commit to it? Are you willing to see where 1 hour can take you? The transformation that happens when you invest 1 hour each day in your goals is often subtle, yet powerful. As you continue to show up, you'll start to notice something incredible happening. The small steps you've taken become a part of your identity. You no longer see yourself as someone who is waiting for opportunities, but someone who is creating them. That shift is subtle, yet it is the catalyst for everything else that follows. But the big question is, are you ready to embrace it? As you look toward your future, remember that time will pass regardless of how you choose to spend it. The question isn't whether you have time, but whether you will use the time you have to build the life you want. Each hour is a chance to step closer to the person you are meant to become. The path ahead is clear. 1 hour, one decision, one step at a time. Will you take the first step? The beauty of this journey is that it's yours to shape. Every hour you invest brings you one step closer to your goals. And as you stay consistent, you'll realize that those small efforts are making a big difference. It's not about waiting for the right moment. It's about making today the right moment. But how long will you wait before you take that first step? So here's the truth. Life isn't about waiting for the perfect circumstances. It's about making the most of the time you have, even if it's just 1 hour a day. Over time, that hour will build momentum, and momentum will lead you to success. But the journey begins with a choice, your choice. Will you take control of your time? And if you do, where will it take you? Let me ask you a question. What if I told you that just 1 hour a day, 60 minutes, could change the entire course of your life? Would you believe me? Most people wouldn't. Why? Because they've been led to believe a false narrative. They believe transformation requires a miracle. They think success demands long hours, luck, or privilege. But I'm here to tell you that's not the case. It begins with just 1 hour. 1 hour of focus, 1 hour of discipline, 1 hour where you choose to invest in yourself rather than watching others live their lives. You see, many people are busy, but very few are actually growing. They scroll, they rush, they repeat, but they don't pause to think. And because they don't take the time to think, they don't change. But you, if you're still listening, are different. You're seeking, you're ready. And today, we're going to discuss the hour that could transform your habits, your income, your relationships, and yes, even your legacy. Because success isn't accidental, it's a daily choice. And the best part is, you don't need to wait for the new year, you don't need permission, and you certainly don't need a stroke of luck. All you need is 1 hour a day. Let's dive in, take back that first hour. Let me share something important. How you start your day determines how you live your life. It's not just a routine, it's a ritual. That first hour, it's your opportunity, your launch pad, your foundation, yet most people waste it. They wake up and immediately reach for their phones. They check messages, the news, what everyone else is doing, but they forget to check in with themselves. They don't ask, what do I want today? Who do I need to become? What am I building? If you don't take control of your mind in that first hour, the world will do it for you. And trust me, the world doesn't always have your best interests at heart. It will bombard you with drama, distractions, and noise. Before you know it, you're reacting to life instead of designing it. So here's the challenge. Take back that first hour, make it yours, before the emails, before the scrolling, before the chaos. Wake up a bit earlier, not because it's trendy, but because it's transformational. Use that hour to invest in yourself. Read 10 pages of a good book. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Plan your day. Visualize your goals. Move your body. Drink some water. Sit in silence. Do what the old version of you never made time for. Because here's the truth. If you can win the first hour, you can win the day. And if you win enough days, you'll win your life. Now, I know some will say, I'm not a morning person, but understand this. Success doesn't care. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. Do you think the successful people in this world jump out of bed with fireworks and fanfare? No. They make a choice, they train, they develop the habit, and you can do the same. Starting tomorrow, make a new commitment to yourself before you engage with the world. Invest in your future. Use that first hour not to consume, but to create. Don't just wake up, rise up. Because your future doesn't begin at 11 o'clock a.m., it begins at 6 o'clock. So take that hour back, build it with intention, and when the day begins, you'll already be ahead, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. You won't just be prepared, you'll be powerful. And that is where transformation starts. Now that you've reclaimed that first hour, it's time to protect it like a precious resource. Let me tell you, people will try to steal it, not with force, but through distractions. A notification, a favor, a trivial task, a hey, can you just, suddenly that hour is gone, stolen by something that builds someone else's life, not yours. You must understand this. This hour is not free, it's not casual, and it's certainly not for leftover. It is sacred, it is strategic. If you don't protect it, no one else will. Time is like money, but more precious to lose. You can earn more money, but you can never get that hour back. So what do? You set boundaries. You say, this is my hour. No calls, no emails, no scrolling, no distractions. Not because you're rude, but because you're serious. Get serious about your hour, just like a builder is serious about their tools or a farmer about their soil. If you use this hour properly, it will pay you back many times over in clarity, skill, results, income, and confidence. But only if you don't trade it for less important things. Don't trade gold for crumbs. That's what happens when you say, I'll just check this one thing, or let me reply real quick, it won't take long, only to find you've spent your best hour reacting to the world instead of designing your own. So here's the habit. Every night, schedule your hour. Mark it in your calendar. Make it non-negotiable. Tell your family, friends, and even yourself, this is your time to grow, to think, to create, to build. And if they don't respect it, teach them to. Consistently, not with anger. When you start valuing your time, others will begin to value you. The rule is simple. If it doesn't help you grow, it doesn't get your hour, period. This isn't just about being productive. It's about setting priorities. It's about saying my future matters enough to defend it in that first hour. That's your front line. Guard it as if it's rare, because it is. It's the hour that separates the average from the excellent, the wanderer from the leader, the talker from the doer. If you guard it today, you'll celebrate it tomorrow. Direction before action. It's not enough just to take the hour or guard it. You need to know what to do with it. That's where most people get it wrong. They're busy, they're active, but the question is, are they doing the right things? Action without direction is a recipe for frustration. It's like being on a treadmill, sweating, grinding, running, but getting nowhere. So before you dive into your hour, before you read, start building, or hit play on a video, ask yourself a powerful question. Where am I going? This question unlocks everything. If you don't have direction, you won't make progress. You'll move, but you won't arrive. Direction is the compass, and action is the engine. You need both. So let's get practical. At the start of your hour, take 3 minutes, just 3, to get clear. Ask yourself, what's my goal? What skill am I building? What are you working to improve today? And most importantly, why does it matter to you? Write it down. Don't just keep it in your head. Put it on paper. Clarity on paper becomes focus and action. Jim Rohn used to say, reasons come first, answers come second. You need to know your why, because once you have that, everything else becomes clear. Now, let me give you a warning. If you skip this step, if you jump straight into action without intention, you'll waste your most valuable resource, your focus. And here's what's even worse. You'll confuse movement with meaning. You'll feel busy, but you'll remain stuck. That's why direction is more important than speed. It doesn't matter how fast you're moving if you're heading the wrong direction. So take the time to aim. Take the time to ask yourself, where am I going? Align your actions with your desired outcomes. A person with direction may walk slower, but they'll travel further. So tomorrow morning, when your hour begins, don't just start doing, start deciding. Decide who you want to become. Decide what matters most to you. Decide which step will bring you closer to the life you've been envisioning. Because direction turns your hour into a mission. And when you live with a mission, you begin walking a new path. That path, clear, focused, intentional, is the one that leads to real change. Remember, learn for an hour, grow for a lifetime. If there's one thing I've learned in life, it's this. Success doesn't just come from doing, it comes from learning what to do. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing. Now here's the good news. Learning is simple. It's not about going back to school or spending money on expensive programs. It's about dedicating just one focus hour a day to feed your mind. That hour, that's your edge. It's your secret weapon. While most people are watching distractions, you're engaging in growth. While they're drifting, you're developing. And over time, day by day, that learning starts to separate you from the crowd. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. So what do you focus on during that hour? You read books, you listen to mentors, you study success, you pick up biographies, personal development books, courses on communication, health, wealth, mindset, materials that move the needle in your life. The more you learn, the more you see. And the more you see, the better choices you make. Let me be clear, this isn't passive. You're not just scrolling through quotes and hoping something resonates. You're intentional. You pick up the book, the course, the notebook with purpose and say, this is my growth hour. And trust me, an hour a day adds up. In 1 year, that's 365 hours. That's more than 9 full-time work weeks spent on your own mind. You do this for a year, and you won't even recognize yourself. Your language improves, your confidence rises, you speak with clarity, you think sharper, you'll solve problems that used to paralyze you. Why? Because you've been stacking wisdom, bit by bit, page by page, lesson by lesson. And the best part? No one can take that from you. Skills can be learned, confidence can be built, knowledge multiplies, and it all starts with that one quiet hour. So here's your next step. Choose your materials before your hour begins. Don't leave it to chance. Stack 3 books on your desk, queue up that podcast, open the course you've been putting off. And when your hour begins, dive deep. Because every time you open your mind, you expand your future. And the person who learns daily is the person who earns continually. So don't skip this, don't rush through it. Make learning a habit, and you'll make success a lifestyle. 1 hour of practice beats 10 hours of theory. Let's be clear, learning is powerful, But learning without action is just entertainment. You can read every book, watch every video, listen to every podcast, but if you never apply what you've learned, you're not growing, you're just collecting information. Success doesn't come from what you know, it comes from what you practice. Let me repeat that. 1 hour of practice beats 10 hours of theory. Why? Because action is where skill is developed. You don't become a speaker by reading about speaking. You don't become fit by studying exercise routines. You don't master anything by sitting on the sidelines. You've got to step into the arena. Here's the mistake most people make. They wait until they feel ready. They wait for confidence. They wait for perfection. But the truth is, confidence doesn't come before action. Confidence comes through action. Every time you practice, you get sharper. Every time you try, you improve. Every time you show up, you grow. So what does this mean for your hour? It means that part of that hour should be hands-on. If you're learning to write, write something. If you're learning to speak, practice out loud. If you're learning business, build the plan, make the pitch, take the call. If you're learning design, open the software and create. No more waiting, no more prepping, just doing. Repetition is the mother of skill, not perfection. You don't have to get it right the first time. You just have to start, then refine it, improve it, polish it. That's how professionals are made. And here's something else. When you practice daily, your progress becomes visible. You can feel it. You can measure it. You start to trust yourself. And that trust, that's the real win. A person who trusts their own effort becomes unstoppable. So here's the challenge. Take what you learned yesterday and apply it today, even if it's messy, even if it's small, even if it's awkward. Just start, because doing turns knowledge into power. And 1 hour of bold, focused, imperfect action can do more for your life than a lifetime of thinking about it. Reflect, refine, repeat. Life doesn't improve just because you keep moving forward. It improves when you stop and look back with purpose. Too many people go from one task to the next, from one goal to the next, without ever asking the most important question: how did I do today? That's where the growth lives, not just in the doing, but in the reviewing. A life worth living is a life worth recording. And I'll add this: a life worth recording is a life that keeps improving. Now let's break this down. At the end of your hour, don't wait until later, not tomorrow, but at the end of your hour, take 5 minutes to reflect. What did you learn? What did you accomplish? What did you struggle with? What will you do better tomorrow? It's not complicated, it's just honest. And most people won't do it. Why? Because it forces them to face their own patterns. It reveals whether they're moving forward or just spinning in place. But here's the power. Reflection creates clarity, clarity creates improvement, and improvement creates results. Once you've reflected, don't stop there. Next step, refine. What can be tightened? What can be removed? What can be added, improved, upgraded, simplified? You don't need to overhaul your life every week. You just need to tweak the process little by little, because excellence isn't a giant leap. It's a series of small, intelligent corrections over time. Think of it like this. Airplanes are off course 90% of the time, but they're constantly adjusting. And guess what? They still land exactly where they're supposed to. Why? Because they reflect, refine, and repeat. And that's your formula. Every hour you invest in yourself, reflect on it, refine it, and repeat it the next day just a little better. Do that for a week, and you'll notice a shift. Do it for a month, and people will notice. Do it for a year, and your life will never be the same. Those who learn from experience grow slow, but those who learn from evaluated experience grow fast, they grow strong, they grow wise. So don't just live your life, examine it, shape it, elevate it. Reflect, refine, repeat. That's how you go from ordinary to exceptional. 1 hour of health a day keeps the doctor away. Now let me tell you something that most people forget. Your body is not just a vehicle. It's the engine of your life. And if the engine fails, it doesn't matter how big your dreams are, how clear your goals are, or how much money's in your account. Because when your health breaks down, everything slows down. You see, the body and the mind are deeply connected. You can't think straight when you're tired. You can't lead when you're weak. You can't build when you're burnt out. So what do? We invest 1 hour a day in the most important machine we'll ever own, our body. Now listen, I'm not saying you need to become a bodybuilder or run marathons, but I am saying you need to move, breathe, stretch, and sweat. When you honor your health, you elevate your energy. And when your energy increases, your results follow. Let me say it again. Energy is the fuel for achievement. Want more focus? Move. Want more drive? Sweat. Want more peace? Breathe deeply. And here's the best part. It doesn't take all day. One focused hour. That's it. Walk in the morning, stretch your body, do some yoga, lift some weights, or simply step outside to get the sun on your face and the air in your lungs. Remember this truth. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. Now, let me give you a warning. Neglect is quiet at first. A few skipped workouts, too many processed meals, too many extra hours sitting, and suddenly your body starts breaking down. Not all at once, but slowly, silently, until one day the price shows up in the form of a doctor's bill, an energy crash, or a missed opportunity you weren't strong enough to seize. Discipline weighs ounces, but regret weighs tons. So take the hour, protect it, and use it to build your strength, not just your skills. You can't give your best if you're running on empty. You can't lead others if you can't even lift yourself. And you can't live your purpose if you're constantly managing pain. So starting today, treat your health like your future depends on it, because it does. 1 hour a day to walk, stretch, fuel, rest, and keep the doctor away while keeping success close by. Build a fortune in the quiet hour. Let me tell you something important. Profits are better than wages. Wages make you a living, but profits make you a fortune. To build profits, you don't need to work 10 hours a day. You don't need a big team. You don't need permission. You need just 1 hour, one quiet hour. Now, most people get home from work and shut down. They say, I've done enough, and then sit, scroll, watch, and wonder why nothing changes. But that quiet hour right before bed, right after dinner, is your chance. It's your space to build something that's yours. Not for your boss, not for your paycheck, but for your future. In that hour, you can start your side business, learn new skills, or work on a passion project. While everyone else is winding down, you're stepping up. 1 hour each day is all you need to start creating the life you really want. So guard that hour. Use it wisely, because success doesn't just happen. It's built 1 hour at a time. Business, building with 1 hour a day. You can learn a new skill, you can write, you can plan, you can sell, you can build. You don't need a fancy office, you don't need a perfect setup. You just need a little hunger in 1 hour that you don't give to the world. Now, let me be honest. The results won't come in a day, but that's not the goal. The goal is momentum. 1 hour a day, 5 hours a week, 260 hours a year. That's not small. That's massive. That's a product launched. That's a brand started. That's a future created. But only if you treat the hour like treasure, not as time to waste, but time to build. You don't build wealth with wishes, you build it with work. Quiet, focused, consistent work when no one's watching. And here's the best part. If you do that long enough, one day you'll look up and realize something. That little hour built your confidence, built your income, built your independence. And it started when you made one simple decision: to stop wasting the quiet hour and start using it to build your fortune. Relationships built 1 hour at a time. Now let's talk about something most success books leave out: relationships. Because what good is a fortune? What good is a strong body, a sharp mind, or a big bank account if you don't have people to share it with? Success without connection is empty. You don't build a good life just by building businesses or habits. You build a good life by building people. And that takes time, care, and presence. But here's the good news. Just like you grow wealth with 1 quiet hour, you grow relationships the same way, 1 hour at a time. 1 hour of real conversation, 1 hour of listening, not just hearing, 1 hour of putting the phone down and looking someone in the eyes. You see, people don't remember what you said. They remember how you made them feel. And they feel it when you give them time. Now, I'm not asking for 10 hours a week. I'm not asking you to become a therapist. All I'm saying is give someone in your life your full attention for just 1 hour. Your spouse, your child, your parent, your mentor, your friend, And don't just sit in the same room. Be there, ask questions, share stories, laugh a little, or just sit together and be quiet, because presence is powerful. Let me tell you what happens when you do this. Trust starts to grow, walls begin to fall, love multiplies, and connection deepens. It doesn't take a fancy dinner or a big trip. It takes 1 hour of your heart with no distractions. And I'll say this, the people who know how to build great relationships always win in the long run. Because in the storms of life, and they will come, money won't hold your hand, success won't hug you, but relationships will. So schedule that hour, make it intentional. Because if you don't invest in people, you'll wake up one day surrounded by things, but feeling completely alone. And here's the truth. A rich life is measured in memories, not just milestones. And memories are made in moments. Moments like this, moments that begin with just 1 hour. So the next time you think about success, remember this. Don't just build your future, build your people, focus on 1 hour at a time. Stack your hours, stack your future. You've heard it before. Success is built one step at a time. Let me put it another way. Success is built 1 hour at a time. 1 hour of discipline, 1 hour of learning, 1 hour of building, 1 hour of investing in your mind, your body, and your future. But here's the problem. Many people underestimate the power of just 1 hour each day. They think it's just an hour. What difference does it make? Let's break it down. 1 hour a day equals 7 hours a week. That adds up to more than 300 hours in a year. That's over 7 full-time work weeks. Now, ask yourself, what could you accomplish with 7 full-time weeks, all focused on growth? You could write a book, learn a high-value skill, start a business, improve your health, master your mindset, or even transform your entire life. But you don't achieve this quickly. You do it by stacking hours, one after the other, each building on the last, quietly, steadily, with strength. That's how you create your future. Not through a burst of energy, but through consistent effort. Here's the key. Small acts of discipline don't remain small. They expand, they multiply, they shape who you become. Every time you commit to that hour, you're making an investment in your future. You're telling yourself, I'm not wasting my time. I'm not relying on luck. I'm building something important. And that decision, made daily, creates momentum. It builds confidence. It generates results. Because when you add up the hours, you add up the progress. And as you add progress, you change your identity. You transition from someone who waits to someone who actively builds. Now, there will be days when you miss your hour. That's okay. It's part of being human. But don't let a missed hour turn into a missed week, or worse, a missed year. Always come back. Keep stacking, because time passes regardless. And one day the question won't be, did you dream big? It'll be, did you use your hours wisely? So stack them, protect them. And one day you'll look up and realize you didn't just change your habits, you changed your life. What started was just 1 hour, 1 hour of learning, 1 hour of building, 1 hour of reflecting, 1 hour for your health, 1 hour for your future, may have felt small at first. It may have seemed almost invisible, like nothing was changing. But day by day, hour by hour, something was happening. You were becoming someone new. Not overnight, not by chance, but through intentional decisions. Here's a truth you can rely on. You don't transform your life in one giant leap. You transform it one consistent hour at a time. The hour you showed up when it wasn't easy. The hour you chose growth over comfort. The hour you practiced instead of procrastinated. The hour you listened, loved, focused, and created. And those hours, they did something powerful. They rewired your mind. They reshaped your habits. They rebuilt your confidence. 1 hour at a time, you started to believe in yourself again. You began trusting your word. You proved yourself that discipline isn't just a concept, it's a lifestyle. And the best part, you did it hour by hour, step by step. You didn't need to change everything, you just needed to change one thing, how you use your time. That was the turning point. Because if you can control 1 hour, you can eventually control your day, and if you can control your day, you can shape your future. Here's what I want you to remember. Success isn't about luck, mystery, or magic. It's about daily discipline. And that discipline doesn't require everything you have. It just takes 1 hour each day with no excuses, no distractions. One day you'll look in the mirror and realize you didn't just change your schedule, You changed your identity. You became the type of person who shows up, follows through, lives intentionally, walks with purpose, and builds with wisdom. And that transformation, all from 1 hour. So keep going, stay consistent, protect that hour, respect the process. It's not just about how you spend your time, it's about how you shape your life. Start today, not tomorrow. Now you've heard it all. The habits, the hour, the truth. So what's next? I'll tell you. Start today, not tomorrow. Because tomorrow is only a promise, but today is a decision. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the right mood. Don't wait for the new year Monday or some perfect moment that will never come. Just start. Choose 1 hour, claim it, schedule it, protect it like your future depends on it, because it does. You don't need to be great. You don't need all the answers. You just have to be willing to show up. Remember this, change doesn't happen because you know what to do. Change happens when you actually do what you know. You've got the map, you've got the steps, you've got the power. So don't leave this video just feeling inspired. Leave activated. Decide right now, today, what hour will you take back? What will you build? Who will you become? Because if you dedicate just 1 hour a day to growth, purpose, vision, health, relationships, or your future, 1 year from now, you'll be living a life you once only dreamed of. So start today, not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. 1 hour, one decision, one new you. Let that be your story. What if I told you that just 1 hour a day could be the key to unlocking the life you've always dreamed of? 1 hour? That's all it takes to start shifting your future. It might sound too simple to be true, but the secret to achieving extraordinary success lies in the small, consistent actions you take every single day. Imagine the possibilities. 1 hour of focus, discipline, and growth compounded over time, shaping not just your habits, but your entire identity. So ask yourself this, what could you achieve if you started today, if you dedicated just 1 hour to your future? The power to change your life is already in your hands. All it takes is 1 hour, and it starts now. Are you ready to take that first step?